And this is itching on the right side. I don't know what this is. It's near the biopsy. There's a crust there, ouch. It's right there, there's this crust. Can you see this? There's this crust, it's itching here. And down there is the biopsy. Here's the biopsy. Here's die Biopsie mit dem Fäden. Und hier oben ist die Kruste hier wo. Die fühlt sich so an wie die Biopsie, aber sie ist es nicht. Die muss ja auch runter, weil da wird auch was sein. Biopsie. I have to go deeper here. It's itching. Es ist schön, sich öffentlich so zu kratzen. Ne? Sich nicht zu schämen. Vor allem, wenn die Leute wissen, um was es sich handelt. Um Morgelen, die einen auffressen. Die haben mich schon durchlöchert. Wie ein Schweizer Käse, alle Organe, alle Knochen. Ich bin schon ganz durchsiebt, ne? So, I'm probably... They've eaten me up already, those Morgelians. Like a Swiss cheese, you know, with holes all over. Going through the tissue, through organs, through bones, toenails. They're everywhere. Would be great if people would get more respect when they get borreliosis and Morgellons, right? When people have cancer, then they get respect, you know. But who have Morgellons, they're somehow afraid of that. I don't know why. And people who have Morgellons, they should also get some support. Like when you got pain, you should get specific painkiller. And there's even something like medical thing, cannabis, right? It's better with TLC, or what is it called, inside of it, that causes it to be a drug. Because what's the purpose of marijuana when you take the thing that causes this effect? Some call it, whoa, they're getting high from it. It's a medication, you know, it's supposed to give you relief. But when they're breeding those marijuana things, and breeding it in such a way that this will be extracted, like this will be not grown, then this is useless. It's just like making medication like aspirins and antibiotica, and it doesn't have its antibiotica inside of it. This is stupid. Cats love marijuana as well, right? It's called, I don't know what it's called. There's a name for it, I don't know. Cats love it. When they see it, they smell it, they chew on it. It's the same thing. It's like marijuana, and they get really high from it, and they're playing something in the air and so on. Yeah, there's something like that out there. So why are animals, is it permitted to have things like that? But humans, they want to suffer. Same thing like my doctor, like he didn't like that idea. That I had this antibiotica, this real strong one. Nice hair, huh? Like a punk. That, he didn't want me to continue on taking it. Because, to get rid of Staphylococcus aureus, aureus, whatever, then it doesn't have to be a strong antibiotica. Okay, but what about Morgellons? So to get rid of them, if you can get rid of them at all, then you need a stronger antibiotica. And I had it. It's against malaria, I think it is, something like that. Typhus, And yet he doesn't want me to use that, Like, we don't want you to get healthy, It's a strange guy. Yes, and he really wants me to tell them at that hospital, So they sent him the documentation, what he said in German is called Befund, like when they're examining you, making diagnosis, then they write your paper. This is what you have. He didn't want to help me here in Erlangen, a city not far from here, like about 120 kilometers north of Nuremberg, somewhere out that, something like that, or less. I told him I may go to a hospital or to a private praxis or normal praxis, like a doctor's office. And he or the doctor's office may send the blood samples, whatever they need in Erlangen, from his place to them. I asked him, could you, figure that out? Because I can't call there. I can call, but I may not do anything because only doctors can arrange things. And he said, yeah, he's going to call, he's going to tell those assistants to do this. And then his son, same thing. I asked him also on another day. Yeah, no problem. This is bullshit. And then eventually, no, he didn't do anything. No, this is too much work. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this, And, I have ADHS. Same thing. So often I'm very hyper. You may have noticed that it sometimes. And I also have the right to get this medical marijuana, right? But they're not gonna do this because there's so much paperwork. I've checked it out, on I googled it, There's so much paperwork to do this that they say no, we don't want to do this. You want it? Pay for it. You'd have to pay for privately to get your stock or stash for 1 week. You'd have to pay between 500 and 700 euros. That's a lot of money, And when I am insured, health insured, then they should pay for it, But the doctors are too lazy to do this, And they're not doing this at all either, because their assistants, they do that, He just needs to say, why don't you do this kind of paperwork for Mr. Borgelian? And they have to do this, whether they like it or not. They have a lot of work to do, But they're not gonna do this, It's everything has to be private. And what I don't like is people or doctors who like to screw me, Like, private here, private there, I'm a state health insurance. I'm not a private person, but in an emergency, I pay for it privately. But if they do it on purpose to give you subscriptions on private bill, This is bullshit, They just say, well, the state healthcare, they don't permit so many whatever medications. This is bullshit. Here in Germany, what the German health system is kind of a bullshit system. Like people who are private insured, they come here and good, they have to pay privately a lot of money. Well, they say it's not fair, but think about it. They're making a lot of money, so why isn't that fair? And there's from state, we're not making a lot of money, We don't earn a lot of money, and why should we pay a lot, We have to pay more, and we're still insured. This is bullshit. But they may also bullshit you in that way. For instance, you get a medication here on a private bill. You had an appointment with the doctor, and they get their money for the state health insurance, and they get that, but they will also get the money from you twice, also from the state and from you. That's not supposed to happen. And if they go to get sued for that, then at the judge, they just say, well, it was a mistake, and the judge's gonna say, yes, it's okay, no problem. This is bullshit, isn't it? This is pure bullshit.